Hello, and you're all very welcome to Matt and Michael's Lockdown. Another session of poetry from me, Michael Farry, and songs from Matt Gilsenan. We hope you all had a very, very good week. Weather wasn't all that great, but I think the forecast is good, and we might see more sunshine and fine summer weather. I'm going to start with a poem this week which a lot of people learned when they were going to school, and it's called Sea Fever by John Masefield. Sea Fever. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by, and the wheels kick and the wind's song and the white sail shaking, and a grey mist on the sea's face and a grey dawn breaking. I must go down to the seas again, for the call of the running tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied. And all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying, and the flung spray and the blown spume and the seagulls crying. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way, where the wind's like a whetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trick's over. Now, Matt is going to sing, and this song, it's a hymn. It's from his CD Praying Twice, which was recorded in 1999 in St. Patrick's Church, Trim. And the organist is our own Miriam Mooney. Matt is going to sing the hymn, The Lord is My Shepherd. And I'm going to show you some pictures of St. Patrick's Church in Trim.
Nothing I shall want. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. Fresh and green are the pastures where he gives me repose. Near restful waters he leads me to revive my drooping spirit. He guides me along the right path. He is true to his name. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. If I should walk in the valley of darkness, no evil would I fear. You are there with your crook and your staff. With these you give me comfort. Surely goodness and kindness shall follow me all the days of my life. In the Lord's own house shall I dwell forever and ever. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want.
Thank you very much, Matt and Miriam. That was lovely. Okay, I'm going to try this poem next. It's a poem we learned a long time ago. Full of great sounds, not quite sure what it's all about, but it reads and sounds well. It's called Kubla Khan, and it's by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Alph, the sacred river, ran through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. So twice 5 miles of fertile ground with walls and towers were girdled round, and there were gardens bright with sinuous rills, where blossomed many an incense-bearing tree. And here were forests ancient as the hills, enfolding sunny spots of greenery. But oh, that deep romantic chasm which slanted down the green hill athwart a cedarn cover, a savage place, as holy and enchanted as ere beneath a waning moon was haunted by woman wailing for her demon lover. And from this chasm, with ceaseless turmoil seething, as if this earth in fast thick pants were breathing, a mighty fountain momently was forced, amid whose swift, half-intermitted burst, huge fragments vaulted like rebounding hail, or chaffy grain beneath the thrasher's flail. And mid these dancing rocks at once and ever, it flung up momently the sacred river. 5 miles meandering with a mazy motion, through wood and dale the sacred river ran, then reached the caverns measureless to man, and sank in tumult to a lifeless ocean. And mid this tumult, Kubla heard from far ancestral voices prophesying war. The shadow of the dome of pleasure floated midway on the waves, where was heard the mingled measure from the fountain and the caves. It was a miracle of rare device, a sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice. A damsel with a dulcimer in a vision once I saw. It was an Abyssinian maid, and on her dulcimer she played, singing of Mount Abora. Could I revive within me her symphony and song, to such a deep delight 'twould win me, that with music loud and long I would build that dome in air, that sunny dome, those caves of ice, and all who hear should see them there, and all should cry, beware, beware, his flashing eyes, his floating hair. Weave a circle round him thrice, and close your eyes with holy dread, for he on honeydew has fed, and drunk the milk of paradise. Now, that's Samuel Taylor Coleridge's Kubla Khan. Next, we have another song from that.
This afternoon I would like to sing for you a song one of from the collection of Thomas Moore, who was born in Dublin in 1779. He was a very prolific songwriter and poet and entertainer generally. He wrote The Minstrel Boy, The Last Rose of Summer, and Believe Me of All Those Endearing Young Charms. And this song, which is called The Meeting of the Waters. One of the most interesting things I saw about the man when I was looking up his notes was that he was responsible for burning the memoirs of Lord Byron. Now, I have no idea why anybody would want to burn the memoirs of Lord Byron, and that needs further investigation, but that will be for another day. I'll get on and sing the song today. There is not in the wide world a valley so sweet. There is not in the wide world a valley so sweet as the vale in whose bosom the bright waters meet. Oh, the last rays of feeling and life must depart ere the bloom of that valley shall fade from my heart. ere the bloom of that valley shall fade from my heart. Yet it was not that nature had shed o'er the scene her purest of crystal and brightest of green. 'Twas not her soft magic of streamlet or hill. Oh no, it was something more exquisite still. Oh no, it was something more exquisite still. 'Twas that friends the beloved of my bosom were near, who made every dear scene of enchantment more dear, and who felt that the best charms of nature improve when we see them reflected from looks that we love. When we see them reflected from looks that we love. Sweet Vale of Avoca, how calm could I rest in thy bosom of shade with the friends I love best, where the storms that we feel in this cold world should cease, and our hearts like thy waters be mingled in peace, and our hearts like thy waters be mingled in peace. That's it all. Thank you very much. And that's all until the next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for that, Matt. Now I'm going to finish this week with a poem of my own from my second poetry collection, The Age of Glass. And this is called Water. And it was written after a day when one of my grandsons, Connor, came and wanted to help me water the flowers, even though it was raining a little. Water. He waters our pot plants in the light rain, loves the slap and dribble on geranium and fuchsia, unconcerned with rotting roots or leaching nutrients. When his watering can is empty, he looks up, asking me to turn the tap on, refill. We laugh at the spillage, splash in the overflow. If these survive the winter, I'll take spring cuttings, give him some of his own to care for, replace them if an unexpected early frost kills them. He'll not know the difference, unaware of the quick turnover, how year by year I lose perennials and vivid annuals flush and fade. Someday, when water is more precious, in a dry season, I hope he'll remember this, how good our garden was, when it seemed grandfathers could do everything. Thank you. And now we'll finish off with a song from Matt.
Thank you, Michael, and hello, everybody. You're very welcome to my neck of the woods. Today I'm thinking of just sharing one song with you. A song that you all know as Danny Boy, and really it is the Londonderry Air. But I wanted to share this little story, if I may. When I was young and growing up and learning, becoming interested in singing and listening to John McCormick as I did as often as I could,
I often wondered why he didn't seem to sing Danny Boy, because I never heard John McCormick singing Danny Boy. I just wondered about it. And then a strange thing happened. My poor old mother, Lord be good to her, had a great love for auctions. And the occasion arose when there was a family, an old trim family who lived in High Street, almost next door to Brogan's Hotel. The family name was Degnan. There was Paddy Degnan, Josie Degnan, Bridget Degnan. Well, they were all older people when I was a young fella. And when they all died out and the house was being sold and cleared out and all the rest of it, there was this auction. And my mum went to it and she came back with a bundle of stuff. She called it just a bundle of jumble. And she said, Matt, I paid £1 for that and it's yours. You might find something of interest in it. Well, I rummaged and rummaged. And of course I did find something of particular interest to me, because I found a concert program of John McCormick's, and it simply said, farewell concert tour, John McCormick, Royal Albert Hall, London, 27th of November 1938. And on the back of the program were printed the words of a few songs that John McCormick used to sing. And I noticed this set of words that said, "Oh Mary dear." And when I read through them and looked at the end, it said, "Words written by John McCormick and sung to the Londonderry air." And there was my problem solved. John McCormick did not sing Danny Boy, apparently. But then I found out recently enough that Danny Boy, as we know it, wasn't actually written until 1913. It was written by a fellow called Fred Weatherly, an English barrister, so there's nothing Irish about it at all. But anyway, Fred Weatherly wrote Danny Boy in 1913, by which time John McCormick was nearly 30 years of age. So John had found the traditional Irish tune, the Londonderry air, and decided to do his own thing with it. And if I can rise to it, here's what it sounded like. Here's what the words were. I'm going to have to read them because I don't really know them off by heart. Oh, Mary dear, a cruel fate has parted us. I'll hide my grief, e'en though my heart should break. Farewell, my love, may God be always with you. I love you so, I'd die for your dear sake. But you'll come back to me, my sad heart whispers. You'll come with summer's flowers or winter's snow. But I'll be there to wait if God should spare me. And with the years my love shall deeper, greater grow. Oh, Mary dear, the years are lone and dreary, and yet you come not back my soul to cheer. My eyes grow dim, my path of life's near ended, when death shall come in spirit love be near. Remember when my soul's deep adoration shed one sad tear for all the world to see. Breathe one short prayer, and I shall know you love me. And and still be waiting, Mary, when you come to me. Thank you very much. And back to you, Michael. Thank you.
So that's our offering for this week. We hope you've enjoyed our poetry and song, and we'll be back again next week. In the meantime, enjoy yourselves, have a good time, and take care. God bless.